So how do you get known online? How do you get people to know you, to recognize you in the street, to wave out the car windows, or at least just to recognize your face when they see it come up on a live video on Facebook? How do you get that recognition? That recognition comes from really, truly understanding who your customer is, understanding that your customer is this person or that person, or they're the customer who happens to buy this particular kind of thing or have this particular kind of problem. They are a 38-year-old woman living in the suburbs of Perth who really needs to solve a specific problem, or they are a 25 to 29-year-old woman who lives in the southern suburbs of Brisbane who really has this specific thing she's trying to achieve. How well do you know who that person is? Now, I'm not just saying that if you're selling skincare products, that your target is all women, because not all women use skincare. Funnily enough, a lot of men do too. What you're looking for is someone who is your perfect customer, who has the money to spend that you want to charge them. They have the desire to fix their skin. They have the desire to look more beautiful. They have the desire to bring in something new into their skincare regime. Because you will know as well as I do that most women have a skincare regime of their own right now. If they have one, they've already got one. They've got a brand they know, the brand they trust. They go to the chemist, they go to Woolworths, and they pick it off a shelf. They have their way of moisturizing or cleansing, toning, and moisturizing, or whatever their regime happens to be. They've already got their routine for that. So you're asking that person to put that aside, everything you've ever done, all the research you've ever done, all the trust you have in those brands already, and you're going to come over and do my thing. Buy my skincare regime, my serum, my moisturizer, my cleanser, and my brush that helps to remove and exfoliate the skin. So how do I do that? Well, you've first got to start off with knowing who that customer is and knowing what gets their attention, knowing the things that they really want to solve. Is it because they've got bad skin, or is it because they've got good skin that they want to keep? They're two very different audiences. One's repairing, one's maintaining. Who is your customer? Oh, I want both. It's not, you can't afford to go for both. You can't afford to go for all women. You can't afford to go for women who want skincare, because there is literally tens of thousands of people selling skincare regimes right now. I know a guy in Alice Springs that's selling it, two people in Darwin who are selling it, let alone all the people in the East Coast, on the West Coast, and in other countries who have got their own skincare products. It's a jungle out there. There are so many claims being made, so many ingredients. Some are organic, some have got caffeine, some of them have no artificial ingredients, and some of them, well, you wouldn't know what they are because they all basically come out of a factory in China. So how do you set yours apart? You set it first of all by understanding who the customer is, so they know what they're going to get is going to be suitable for them. Then the next part of building a brand is all about you. It's all about you, my friend, making it known that you're an expert at what you do. And how do you do that? Well, you need to do it in a variety of ways. You have to tell people, you have to get out there, you have to talk about skincare, you have to talk about herbal tea, you have to talk about exercise physiology, you have to talk about whatever it is you're an expert in and the thing that you're trying to sell. There is no point trying to sell a skincare regime if you can't get out there and say, I'm an expert at this because. Now, you don't have to have a lab coat, you don't have to be a scientist, but what you can be is a woman or a man who has used skincare products. And you go, I made this because it works for me. And the greatest power of persuasion is in testimony. To share a story that is all about what you are selling. So make it known that you are the expert in the room. Don't be afraid to be the expert in the room. In fact, you have to be the expert in the room, because unless you can afford influencers and spokespersons and spokesmodels, you're the person that's going to have to talk about this. You'll have to get on those live videos. You'll have to take the photos. You'll have to talk about your story behind the reason why you did this thing. Why did you create this product or this service? Now, you might think, oh, but I'm a private person. I don't want to make it about me. Too bad. Too bad. If you want to build a brand, you need to do the work of the brand. And sometimes that means you have to stick your head in front of a laptop computer, turn on the camera, and start talking to people. It's the only way I could make it. I don't have the prettiest head in the world. I know that. But it doesn't matter, because the information I've got to present is of such value and of such need for a small business that it overrides my insecurities about who I am and what I look like. What I've got to say far outweighs my insecurities about what I look like on a camera. And you'll get to that point too. Make it known that you're the expert. That's why you created it. Now you need to create the right kind of content. Getting known online is producing content that reaches out to people. You do not need to have 20,000 people following you. That is a cheap and easy way of getting it. You can buy followers, you can buy attention, you can trick people into being attention, you can clickbait, you can get on there and start stripping down into the skimpiest outfits you can. You can spend years in the gym developing the perfect body just so you can hold that product in front of you and go, hey, you want to buy this drink? You need this drink because I'm hot and I got hot because of this drink. You don't have to necessarily do that. Content can be any kind. It can be text. That's probably the best place to start, with a blog or buy a TikTok account. TikTok accounts don't have to be all beautiful people. Yes, a lot of them are, but most of them are not. The most followed ones, yeah, they're probably really good looking. So what? You don't need everybody because you can't serve everybody. So produce the content for that previous point, knowing who your customer really is, creating the content that fits them. What are they interested in? Write about it. What are the questions that they're asking? Write about that. What are the things that they are concerned about in this world? That's what you talk about in the video. You connect through your customer by creating the content that gets their attention and then somehow link it back to what you do. So if they're afraid of the future and you're a counselor, there's your link. If they are afraid of the future and you are selling makeup, connect that through to how you are committed to ecological sustainability, not using chemicals and using organic ingredients that don't harm the earth. Then find the link. You'll find the things that they are interested in, the things that they care about, and then you can produce things that match that to get their attention and to get to know who you are. Otherwise, you won't get their attention at all. Another way to get attention is to have something that value to give away for free, something that you can provide to them that gives them a feeling of, oh, that's for me. Great. They'll remember who you are. Not because you gave away something for free, but you gave away something of value that they can action straight away. Ebooks, videos, access to a coaching platform, access to an exclusive Facebook group that only people who've connected with you can do that. So how do we do that? We have something of value to give away for free. So we create something that's going to work that is of value to them, something that's going to give them action that they can take forward and do. It's going to make their lives better. It's going to make their lives more meaningful, or it's going to help them in their survival, in their comfort, or in helping others who they love. Those are the three kind of core values that you need to try and get. Is it going to help them get richer? Is it help them to get more comfortable? Is it going to help them to survive? And it's going to help them to take care of the people they love? Then offer that. It could be advice. It could be an ebook. It can be a video. It can be any of those things. But make sure you have something of value to give them for free so that they'll become aware of you because you're solving a problem for them without asking for any money. Now, you don't have to give them everything. Ultimately, you want to give them that stuff because you want to encourage them to share the word. You want them to share that around. Look at this person that gave me this free thing. This could help you as well. Now, there's going to be tons and tons of tire kickers who are just going around looking for the free stuff. They were never going to buy from you in the first place. But there's people who look at that stuff not as a free thing. They look at it as a dip a toe in the water. And they dip the toe in the water with the free thing for you. And they go, this woman, she really knows what she's talking about. This guy, he really knows what he's talking about. And then they'll decide to go that next step to whatever your offer is that brings them down. But first of all, they had to get to know you, and they got to know you through that free offer, that free sample. Another way to get known is to connect with influencers. Influencers can expand your reach by hundreds and thousands of percentage points because you only have so many people you're connected to. They're connected to many, many more. So do you know an influencer? Do you know someone in your sphere of influence who does this, has a big account that you can put your product in their hands and they can then make that product known to so many more people around the world? Well, use those connections. There's no use having them and not using them. If you've got a friend who's an influencer, ask them if they can use you because, if you use them because they've already got the audience. They probably like to have more products and it makes them look good when they've got free products to look at and share and say, hey, look, I got this product from this company, and it makes me really, really happy because I love to use this stuff every day. And before you know it, you've got 30,000 people who are suddenly very interested in your product or service. So influencers can help you reach far, far more people. Now, how to get known online? create a blog and promote it. The very basic thing to do on the internet is to create content that's written that people can read and share. And the reason why that becomes something that helps you get known is because written content is still the primary way that people find things on Google. Someone searches in a problem they've got, chances are they're going to come up with a blog post or an article or a content page on a website that answers that question for them. Wouldn't it be great if you got to be the person who answered that question? I've got a couple of questions that you can ask on Google that are default go to my website. They provide a featured snippet of content that goes to my website. That's fantastic. I get so much traffic because of that. I get way more traffic than a digital marketing agency should ever get. That's because I provided a very niche answer to a very niche problem that worldwide actually is a problem about 1,200 people a week have, because they're all asking me about it. Now, can I fix it for them straight away? Does it lead to a sale? No. What it does lead to is awareness now, that people are now searching for me specifically as a brand, not me, my business Clickstarter. So most of the searches are either for the name Clickstarter. Now, I'm the only majorly working Clickstarter in the world. There's one in Britain that used to operate. I think there's one in Denmark that used to operate as well. There's one in Hong Kong, which is not really operating at all. So when they're looking for Clickstarter, they're generally looking for me, and those searches are in the thousands every week. How did that happen? Because I created a blog that connects to the problems that people have, answer those questions. So next time they want to go and look for an answer, they may look for me instead of looking for it on Google. You can also get known by interviewing experts in your industry. How do you get known? By featuring them, because you're the person who brought them in. You're the person, if someone is following a particularly famous person or someone who's got a great following and you interview them, they will follow all sorts of content that follows that particular person. If you're a Tom Holland fan from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then it doesn't matter who's talking to him, who's interviewing, where he appears, you will look for every piece of Tom Holland content that you possibly can, even starting up your own TikTok account, because there's so much Tom Holland on TikTok or on Instagram Reels. So you'll follow it wherever they will be. Fans of that person will follow them to your content, and your content will get much more view, and you'll become much more known because of your association with them in that interview. You can also get known online by becoming a guest on other people's blogs and other people's podcasts. You could be the guest who's being interviewed. Now, that's happened a number of times. I've been on probably about 15 different podcasts. I've probably been interviewed in maybe 3 or 4 different blogs, and that's really helped because they link back to my website. They link back to my materials, and my name, my company name, is both shared throughout those things to an audience that otherwise wouldn't have known who I was. That's really helpful. That's really helping me on SEO searches on Google. And it's also helping me to be recognized so that more people search directly for my name, or more people search directly for my business name than they're searching necessarily for what it is I do. For example, midway through an interview on a podcast, they could be listening to me and I answer a question and I mention my business name. So they can sit there and go, oh, I'll look that up. And then they come to my website where they get to know my logo, get to know what it is I do, the way I write and the way I present things and the products that I sell. That's a person that never knew about me before. That's how you get known. Another way you can get known online is to create other kinds of contents to be known for. So you don't have to be stuck on just writing written stuff it doesn't have to be just written stuff on a blog, for instance. You don't have to write an article. It could be a video. It could be an audio file. It could be video. It could be photos. It could be infographics. It could be any kind of content that's digital that you want to produce. Anything that people can have and share and then pass around. People will share also memes. Memes are a great way to help you get known. If you're associated somehow with that meme, if it's a photo of you, if it's associated with your company or came originally from your particular page on Facebook, that's really, really helpful. That helps you to become so much more known for what you would be if nobody ever created or came across that content from you in the first place. You don't necessarily have to be a good writer, good speaker, good talker, good person on camera. You might have a head for radio. There's going to be a format that works for you that helps you to get known.